Hello everyone, welcome to Ajiro Tech. Ajiro Tech. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Cambridge IGCSE Information and Communication Technology with the course code 0417. Paper 2, Databases, and the variant is 21. And this is May-June 2024, which is a paper that was released few hours ago as of the time of this recording. The duration for the whole paper is 2 hours 15 minutes. Please, the instructions are very important. So please go to the instructions. The total mark for this paper is 70 marks. So please take note of that. You have been supplied with the following source files. So these are the source files you have been supplied with. Since this is the first video on this particular variant, we'll just begin with the evidence document. Open the file, J2421 evidence. Okay, where is it? Okay, so it's already compressed. I'm going to extract it, right? So I'm going to right click, extract all, and then extract. Okay, so this is the evidence document. So I'm going to open it. Okay, so I'm going to enable editing. The next thing is make sure your name, comma space, center number, comma space, kernel number will appear on every page of this document. So I'm going to click on insert, headers. Under the headers, I'll click on the 3 columns. Now it has different alignment, left alignment, center alignment, and right alignment. So under the center alignment, I'm going to type my name, comma space, my center number AN017, comma space 2024. And I'll click here, delete, click here, delete. And I'm going to close. The next thing is save this document in your work area as evidence. For example, I'm going to copy this, click on File, click on Save As. You can actually do it here. So I'm going to click on Browse. And I'm going to paste it here. And then I'm going to move this and just put in my candidate number 2024. And the Save As type is going to be a Word document. Okay. All right. So of course we'll need it. You will need your evidence document during the examination to place screenshots in when required. So let's move straight down to database. Okay, task 3, database. You are not going to prepare a report. Dates are to be imported in the format day, month, year. Use database software to import the file J2421 child as a new table. Now, please take note from chapter 13 layout. The recommended software for databases is the Microsoft Access. Okay, so use the database software. We're going to import this. Before we import, the first thing we need to do is to create what? A database. That's the first thing you need to do, to create what? A database. So this is what I'll do here. So there are two ways to do this. You can actually open to Access right here and click on Open, and then click on Blank Database. And then you can type in your name, which is usually what I tell my students, type in their name as the database name, and then choose the directory where you want to store it, and then click on Create. Or come here, close this, okay, fresh, and right click here, new Microsoft Access database, and I'll type in my name, ND DB21. Yeah, just put I can just put P21. Yeah, paper 21. So that makes it easy for me. So I'm going to open it. Now, once I open it here, I'm going to click Enable Content. Now we've created our database. Now let's import this. Now to import this, J2421 child. Remember, look at this. This is .csv, which is a generic file, right? And we have other generic files like your txt, your rtf. So invariably, this is a text file, okay? And that is why we need to import it in, because it's not yet a database file. It is seen as an external data. So I'll click on external data, new data source from file, and then text file. If it was a database, we'll see we will go from database and then we can choose access. But since we're bringing them in, they are external, we're bringing them into what we are working with, we're going to go with from file and then text file. Now I'm going to choose this, browse, and I'm going to look for the location. String 4, right here, open, click on OK. Automatically it's going to be, let me move this here, a new table, delimited, next, comma. So I'm going to check the first row contain feed names. If you don't check the first row contain feed names, if you click on next, it's going to assign a generic one, and you don't want that, right? So I will check the first row contain feed names. Next, next. So here I'll click on advanced. Please ensure the language is English, of course. Code pages, Western European, Windows operating system. Is a Mac, you make it of a Mac. DMY. So the last name, first name, child ID, and gender is short text. Okay. Date of birth and reg date is date with time. That's fine. Food allergies, Boolean. So I'm going to change this to yes or no. Okay. Contact name, relationship, contact number, contact name, short text. Contact number is short text. Okay. So it's important that you take note of all this. And the child ID will be the primary key. So I'm going to click on OK, choose my primary key, and this is going to be my child ID. And I'll click on next, and I'll click on finish. Close. And I'm going to open this. Please ensure, so I'll click here to select both the fields and records. Double click on it. Okay, so DMY, very important. DMY. Okay, so this is very, very important. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to save, and I'm going to switch to my design view. I'm going to switch to my design view. Close this. So what are we? So here we have food allergies. Okay, I'll go to lookup. Under the display control, change the checkbox to text box. Okay, what else? I think that's everything here. So I'm just going to save and then switch to my datasheet view. Okay. Place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the feed names, data types, and primary keys. Showing the feed names, data type, and primary keys. So let's do that. So I'll switch to what? My design view. Now, if the laptop is like mine, 14-inch, and you probably want to take a full screenshot, this is what you do. You click here, right here under the remote display options, click on show tabs only, and there you have it. Now you can take the screenshot of everything. So now I'm going to do this. Okay, I'll probably do this. So I'm just going to change it to Lightings, right? I've done tons of videos on them on web authoring, spreadsheets. Of course, you can just watch them to see how that is done. It's very easy to do. So I'm going to take my screenshot, snipping tool, and I'll click on new. Take a back screenshot. Yep, this is better. Okay. So this is going to be what? Step 11. Okay. All right. I think this is fine. Okay, just make it 10. So that's fine. Save. And I can switch to dark mode. You're welcome. All right, so I'm going to save. Import the file J2421 bookings as a new table in your database. So I'm going to save this. Close. External data, new data source from file, text file. I'm going to browse for it. Bookings. And I'll click on OK. Right? Okay, next. First will contain field names, and I've explained the concept why that is. Next. Are we skipping any field? No, we're not. Okay, so use these field names and data types and create a primary key field called ID. Okay, so we have next, advanced. Code page is going to be Western European Windows. Date order is DMY. Okay, so let's look at it. Session IDs, type ID, day, short text. Start time, end time is going to be this. All right. Session is short text. Okay. So, okay. Now, this is very important. They said use this field name and data types and create a new primary key field called ID. Now, there is no field called ID. So for us to be able to create this new field, this is what we are going to do. We are going to say let access add primary key. So access is going to add the primary key for us, and that key automatically becomes what? An ID. Next, finish. All right. So I'm going to open this table. Click here to select all, both the fields and records. Double click. Show everything is showing. Save. Switch to my design view. Now I want to explain this concept. They said this is what it needs to display. Now we have HHMM. But take note, remember that we have DMY. That we have DMY. And this M here means what? Month. So we cannot assign M, which is for minutes, to M for month. We can't have that. So because of this, access is going to assign another variable for this. So instead of HH, access is going to assign another variable to this. Is going to be column NN. So this N will now represent what? Minutes. Okay? Will now represent what? Minutes. Why this will represent what? Month. Okay? Hope that makes sense. So whenever you see column MM, what access wants you to do is column NN. But access is so sensitive that in such a way that even if you type in column MM, it's going to change this to say, do you mean NN? Okay? So please take note. Okay, I can clean this. Hope you're learning. Let me know in the comment section if you're learning. All right, so right here, I'm going to put this format here, colon NN. This again, colon NN. I'm going to save. Is there another thing I need to do here? And I'm going to switch to my datasheet view. So now I have this. So now I'll save. Place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the field names, data types, and primary key. So let me do that. So I'm going to take the screenshot. Okay, so let me take the screenshot. Okay, so this is going to be what? Still step 11. Right click and then paste. Okay. Create a one-to-many relationship between the child ID fields in the child and booking table. So I'm going to save this. Close. All right. Database tools, relationship. Move this here, move this here. So this is going to come here. All right. So we're creating what? A child ID field in the child and booking tables. So I'm going to do this. The child ID here to the child ID here. Now this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to enforce referential integrity. And the reason why I'm enforcing the referential integrity is this. Now, please take note of this. When we enforce referential integrity, what we are doing is we are ensuring that the relationships, in this case, between the tables remains what? Constant. And this is very crucial for maintaining what? Data integrity and avoiding common issues like orphan records or inconsistent data. Because if you go through this paper, we'll be doing something quite different. And there's a need for us to enforce referential what? Integrity. Here's what we are talking about. It helps us to be able to prevent orphan records, right? To ensure that the foreign key values in this case, in the child's table, right, must match the key values in the parent's table. In other words, the foreign key will match what? The primary key. Okay? And if you try to delete a record in the primary table, okay, the database will prevent the deletion, right? If they are related records, unless the only way database would allow that record to be deleted is if this is checked. Cascade delete related what? Records. Except this is checked. But if this is not checked, the database will prevent the deletions if they are related what? Records in the child's table. So please, let's take note. The other ones is to maintain data integrity, ensuring that uh, references between the tables are valid, ensuring valid foreign keys, etc., etc., etc. Okay, hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to click on create. All right, so now I'm going to do this. I'll click here. Let me click here and let me do this. Show ribbon. So if I click here, I'll click on what? Edit relationships. Click on this line, click on edit relationship, or right click on it, click on edit relationship, and then we can now take the screenshot. Okay. Now, another one, you can actually take only this and you get your mark. Or you can take this one, whichever one you want to do is fine. Okay. So now I'm going to do that. Click on new. So that's step 12. Okay. So we have this. Place your enter showing a one-to-many relationship between the tables. So I've done that. So let me save. Step 13. Using fields from the child and booking table, produce a tabular report. So for us to be able to produce a report, the first thing we have to do is to what? Yes, your query. Okay. For you to be able to produce a report, you have to first of all generate your query. And how do you do that? So I'm going to use this to just show you. So we have this for our query. Okay. This again for our query. And we use this field also for our query. And the rest of them is going to be our report. How simple is that? Okay. So we use this for our queries, and queries are extractions of data. You're extracting data from the database. I'll use this for what? Our report. Okay. We'll also use this when we are creating the report as well, right? And that's why from in this order begins the report. Okay. Hope that makes sense. So now I can probably wipe this off. Thank you. And I can bring this back. Oh, that's a lifesaver. Okay. So let's do that. So I'm going to use, okay, save, close, right? So create, wizard, design. Okay, I'm going to use design on this one. Let's see. From the child and booking table, produce a tabular report. So from both of them, the child, the bookings, close this. So I have the child ID. Okay. And I have first name, first name, last name, date of birth, day, session, are we any of you call session? Yes, session is here. Start time, end time, total time. Okay, we're doing total time, and food allergies. Okay, so food allergies. So I'm just gonna move this here. That's another beauty about the query design. All right, so let's do that. So to save this, include only the title, Monday morning groups. So I'm going to highlight this, copy this, right click, save, and then backspace, Control V, and I'm going to save this. So if I run this, this is what I have. So I'll click and select all between the fields and records, double click them. All right, save. Okay, so now I'm going to switch back to my design view, and I want to create the field first, total time. So what I would do here is that on this new field, right, empty field here, I'm going to click on builder, or right click and click on what? Build. So whichever I want to do. So I'll click on the builder, and let's see what's the formula here, which is calculated at one time. So we have total time. So we have the end time minus start time. Okay, so I'm going to do this. End time minus start time. multiply by 24. I'm going to click on OK. Now it's going to show expression 1, which is a default field. So I'm going to change it. I'll copy this, go back to my builder, expression 1, take this off and paste this, and I'll click on OK. So let me run it first. All right, so let me go back. So let's see what it's saying. Okay, format this field to display as a numeric value to 1 decimal place. To 1 decimal place. So I'll go to property sheet. Under the format, I'll go to what? Standard, decimal place, 1. Okay, and then I'm going to run it. So it's going to make it what? 1 decimal place. So I'm going to switch to what? Design view and close. All right. The next one is day is Monday. So that's equals to Monday or just Monday. Whichever you want to do is fine. Day is Monday. Okay, so I will just paste this. Day is Monday and I'll run it. So now I have 109 records. The next one is session is morning or sunrise club. You can actually do this session. So I'll switch to my design view. So for my sessions, I'll paste this. Now your physical exam, you don't have the privilege of doing this. Okay, so please take note of that. You have a physical copy and that simply means that you have to copy them. Okay, so I'm going to save and I think that is all. So I'm going to close this and it's time for us to create what? Our report. So click on create, report wizard, and I'll move everything here and I'll click on next. Now take note of this. They said in this order with data and label fully displayed in full. Do not group the data. So I don't intend to do that. So I'm going to click on next. Okay, so this is on group, on group. The next thing is what? Sort the data into descending order of sessions. Sessions, descending order, date of birth, ascending order. And it's going to be in landscape. Reports here, look at it. Reports are what? Tabular. Okay. And I'm going to click on next. What's going to be my title? I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste this here. Backspace and Ctrl V to paste this. And I'm going to click on finish. So it's going to show you the print preview. So I'll just zoom out and close the print preview. Switch to the layout view. All right, so I'll click this first. So display in a larger font size, fully visible, and center the line at the top of the page. So let me do this. So what I'll do is I'm going to go to format, bold it, it's not a crime, make it black, it's not a crime, and probably do maybe 24. All right, that's fine. Okay. Now this is what I'm going to do here. We want this to be centered, aligned at the top of the page. And this is something I've brought in for the first time. So how are you going to do it? So please, I want you to pay attention. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it like this. So it covers the whole page. Okay. So when it covers the whole page, I'm going to make it center the line. This is how you get it to be center the line. Please, this is very, very important. Okay. Has your name, center number, candidate number in the footer of the page so that it appears in the same position on every page. Now, when it says has your name, and I'll come back to all this. When it says has your name, center number, candidate number in the footer of the report so it appears in the same position on every page simply means that it's going to be on the page footer. Okay, it's going to be on the page footer. So I'm going to switch this to design view, and now we have the page footer. Okay, now the report footer simply means it's going to be on the last page. Okay, in the bottom. Why details your body, and the page header is going to appear on every page at the top. Okay, so here I can do this. So I'm going to come here to report design, my labels, and I'll draw this name. I know usually I do this at the end. I'm doing this early. All right. So right here, format, make this a bit center line, black, bold, increase it to probably 14. Adjust this here at the top a bit. Okay. All right. So that's fine. So I'll save this, and okay, I can also do this here. Just click this one, hold my control, click this. I just want to make them, black and bold. Okay. So I'll switch to my layout view, and now I can work on them. All right, so let's go back. Now they said in this order, right? So we have to make them in this order. The child ID. So let's look at them. So I don't have that. Child ID first name. Where is session? Session is before start time. Okay, so I'm going to hold my control, hold this, and then move it here. Okay, let it be there for now. The first one is what? The child ID. So I will do this probably first. You have to be very careful when you're moving them, right? I'll prefer you take it very slow. Okay. Format left align so you don't make mistakes. So child ID first name. Okay, so I'll move it here. Okay, first name. After first name, the last name. You can see that I'm ensuring that I'm moving them together. All right, so please ensure they are not overlapping. You can see that was overlapping, so please ensure that they are not overlapping. Then date of birth. Okay, we have day. And then we have what? Session. I'll fix it. Fine. Start time. What time is this? Okay. I prefer all of them to be on the same alignment. End time. Total time. Same alignment. This is for food allergies. You have to hold your control to select both of them. Okay. Make them same alignment. Okay. So we can now adjust them a bit. Okay, so let's check if it's going to be cut off. Let's check if anything is cut off. Let's check. It's important for you to check that you have all your records. Okay. It's important you check. I don't think anything is cut off. I think everything is fine. I think everything is fine. Okay, I think everything is fine. All right. Okay. I think everything is fine. Okay, so I think everything is done here. So let me check again. Okay, sort, save and print the report. So it's fine. I think we have everything here. So I'm just going to print. Please, it's important that when you're printing your work, it has to be to PDF. That's why you click on the properties, you go to advanced, and please, the paper size has to be A4. Okay, has to be A4. Okay, so very important. So please take note of that. So I'm going to print this and 2-1. Yes, so this is going to be print out report. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to save and I'm going to close. You're not going to create a data entry form. The form will obtain radio buttons for the user to select one options. Data from the selected option must be stored in a new field that you create from the choice table. Now, insert a new field in the choice table, name the element ID. So I'll copy this, which will be used to store data from radio button. Set the most appropriate data type. Okay, so this is very, very important. So from the choice table, I'm going to come here, right? Switch to my design view. Okay, I'm going to switch to my design view. And now from the word here, ID, ID simply means what? Number. Okay, so please let's take note. It means number. So I'll come here. After the customer number, I'm going to paste this here. And then data type, the most appropriate data type would be numbers. Okay. Now we are to place in your evidence document showing the field name and data type used in the choice table. Okay, so let me save. Let me switch to my design datasheet view and let me see. So I have it here. Okay, and I'll switch to my design view. Come here to my ribbon display options, show tabs only, and I would switch to the top. Okay, so I think I can do this. It's always important to take your screenshot in light mode. Please, very important, right? So I'm going to come here and I'll take my screenshot. Okay, so this is going to what? Step 14. Okay, step 14, hit on enter, and then right click and then paste. So now we have it here. All right, the next step is step 15. Create a columnar data entry form using selected fields from the choice table that includes only this field. Save, close, create. So I'm going to go to my form wizard. Okay, include only this field, last name. Okay, so please don't tamper with your query. Remember they said for what? The child's table. So last name, first name, child ID, gender, date of birth, birth date, and food allergies. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Displays one record at a time. Okay, so I'm going to click on next. Your data entry form is columnar. Your report is tabular, right? So next. So what's going to be the most appropriate data entry form, the name given, the most appropriate name for this data entry form? Now, if you've been watching all my videos on data entry form, both for the IGCSE and the A-level, you know that I have just kind of a generic name I use for all data entry. So number one, we'll always have data entry form first. Then now it's from a child's table. So the first thing I can think of is the child data entry form. Yes, you were thinking I was going to give you one awesome and powerful. Yes, it's simple as that. Don't make it too complicated, right? Okay, just leave it like that. Child data entry form. Okay, so if we have this to be bookings, it will be booking data entry form. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so now they said place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the form with a record from the database what displayed. Okay, so let's do this from database displayed. So I'm just going to take this. Okay, what I would do is I'll just probably do this. I'll just go to my layout view, click here, go to format, make it black, format. I think I can do this. And okay, and see how I can probably adjust all this. All right, and adjust all this. Okay, let's see. Okay, and I just want to make them evenly spaced. Okay, let me just use the design view to just quickly do this. Okay, I'll move this to the top. So we have this to be. Let me just adjust this a little bit. Okay, so I'll adjust this here, adjust this here, adjust this here. I like my work to be perfect. And this is why you have to subscribe to Ajiro Tech so that your work can also be perfect. Okay. All right. And this is a good time to say if you've not um, enrolled into the masterclass, you're totally missing a lot. The Ajiro Tech tutoring service is an awesome experience. So students who have been there, in fact, it's a one-on-one process where you get to learn more than just past papers. You get to learn how to prepare effectively for your IGCSE and A-level. Trust me, for the May June 2024, we had a 98% rate of success across IGCSE and A-level. For ICT, it was 100%. I don't know how to say 100%, like A star to B. Yes, maybe a C. I'm not sure because all the informations I got, all data I got at the time of this recording were A stars to B. Okay, so please, if you've not subscribed to the Ajiro Tech Tutoring Service, you're missing a lot. And if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, that's your number one assignment. So just hit on the subscribe button. Have you done that? Now you're a good student. Let's go ahead. Okay, so now we have this, right? And I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Okay. So let's go to our form view. I think now we're ready to take a screenshot. Mhm. We are now ready to take a screenshot. We're looking so ready. So now let's take our screenshot, right? So now I'm going to come here and click here, and then I will take my screenshot. Good. Right. Although I can make this. Okay, don't worry. The first one was fine, but I can make this. Perfect. Okay. So now let me take my screenshot. All right. So this is going to be what? Step 15. And I'm going to paste. Are we loving this? All right. So we have this. All right. Step 16. In the form created in step 15, create 5 group radio buttons. The user must be able to select one of the following options. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to switch this to design views. And I'll probably move this down a bit. Good. Create 5 group radio buttons. The user must be able to select one of the following options. So let's do that. So this is going to be under my form design. I have the option group. Yes, I have the option group here. And I'm going to drag this down a bit. Okay. So now an option group is a set of option buttons. So here we can have the checkbox, video buttons, etc. Right? Toggle buttons. So now the user must be able to select one of these. So I'm going to copy this and I'll paste this here. Ctrl V, copy this again. Ctrl V, copy this again. Ctrl V, copy this. Finally, copy this. So I'm going to click on next. No, I don't want the default. And now we have this. So it's going to assign, for each of them is going to assign, right? So we have the Ashma 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, very important. So it's going to assign it like that. So we're going to work with that. Okay, but please take note, when is a yes or no? Okay, when is a yes or no? In this, it's a yes or no. For radio buttons, we have the yes to be -1 and the no to be what? 0. Okay, so take note. So when it's a yes or no, we have the -1 to be yes and we have the 0 to be what? No. But in this case, we're having 5 options. So Access is going to generate them for us. Okay, it's going to generate them for us. Now, for the none, some of them I see that is a no and can even put 0, which is fine. Okay, which is also fine. So the 5 can be 0, and that's fine. You can also leave it to what Access has assigned for us. Okay, so hope that make sense. Hope that's very, very important. Hope we're learning. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead. Next, store this field where we're storing them. Now they said this option must be stored and displayed in the what? The enrollment ID. Let me clean this. So we're going to store them here in the element ID. All right. Of the choice table. Label this option group to be. Okay, they have even given you. They have given us a hint already. That is option group. Okay, so element ID, and I'll store it to be, of course, it's going to be our option group, which is the video what? Video button. Shadow. Let me just go with the first one. Okay, so what do you want to caption this? So I'm going to move this and make it what? The element, and I'll save. Okay. Okay, so the option button. Make sure the radio buttons are grouped as one option group with the label element. Okay, and we have done that here. The option selected is stored in the element ID of the choice table. Yes, all labels in the form are aligned to the left consistently and do not overlap any other data in the form. Now, what this simply means is they are aligned here. Where do you have them here? Okay, they are aligned here, and it's not overlapping anything here. So what I would do here is I'll probably need to just adjust this a little bit. Okay. Just adjust this a little bit. Okay. Now I'm just going to do this. Format black bold. Place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the radio button group as an option group with the label element. Okay. The option stored in the element, the option selected is stored in the element ID of the choice table. Okay. All labels in the form are outlined and do not overlap any other data in the form. Place in your evidence document screenshot showing the radio button grouped as one option with the label element, evidence of your method of linking this group to the element ID field. So let's take the first one, the radio button grouped as one option with this. So let me do that. So let me take the screenshot of this. New. Okay. Step 16. Okay. So that's the first one. Evidence of a method of linking this group to the element ID. So my evidence of linking property sheet. Okay, so I have this. I have my element ID. Default value was not, I didn't give any default value. So I'm going to okay. And I'm going to paste this here. Okay, I want to paste it by the side. So I'll just do this here and I would reduce this. Let me wrap text through I think behind text will be fine. Behind text, where is it? Let me make it 2. Okay, so now I can do behind text. So I can adjust this, bring this here. Sorry, this should not be here. Yes. Control Enter. Okay. So evidence of your method of linking this group to the element ID. All right. So now it's clicked here and it's showing the frame there. Okay. Can I close this? Step 17. Use the form modified in step 16 to add the following data as a new record in the child's table. Okay. So this form that we've worked with, okay, so we're using this form modified in steps to add the following as a new record in the child's table. So let's do that. So I'm going to switch to my form view. Come in. Let me think I can do this a bit. Okay, let me still do this. Move this up a bit. There we go. Yes. Okay, perfect. So now let's do this to add a new record. So what I'll do here is I'm going to click here, blank record. So now we have new name. Let me split this. So I have Lambert. Copy this. Gender is female. Copy this. In exam, you know you have to type it. Food allergies is a yes. Was the element eczema? Okay. So I have this. So what's the next thing? They said check the entry for errors, save the data. Okay. So now we have this. They said place your evidence document a screenshot of the form with the new record displayed in full. So let's do that. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this, right? Okay. So this is what step 17. this right here. Let me save. Now we have this. So if I click on the next record, so we have this already. So now it's important for me to check. So let me check on the choice table. So now we have it here. Okay, so we can have the child and we can also have this. Okay, so I can close this. Step 18, open the child's table. Use an automated selection method to locate the new record you entered in step 17 with the child ID this. Okay, so with this child ID, we're going to do that with the child ID this 3YR27. Okay, and we have to place in your evidence document screenshot showing the use of the automation selection method to find the record, the new record stored in the child's table with all 11 fields displayed in full. So there are two things we have to do here. So I'm going to copy this. Now the automation method we're going to use is filter. We're going to filter it. So this is what we're going to do here. I'm going to open the child's table. Now once I open the child's table and select the child's ID, I'm going to select the field of the child's ID. And once I select the field of the child ID, I'm going to click on filter, text filter equals to, now child ID is equals to what? I'm going to paste this and I'll click on what? Okay. Now, if I go to my filter, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Let me take a screenshot of this. Okay, so I've taken the screenshot. So now I want to paste it. So let me paste it. Which step is this? This is step 18. Then enter. And then I'm going to paste. Okay, so that's the first one. I think I can crop this. Just want the work to be perfect. Okay. So now the next one is what? They said the new record stored in the child table with all 11 fields displayed in full. So I'll come here, click on OK, and I'll take my screenshot of all this. Okay, so let me do this. Let's click here and then let me take the screenshot. Okay, so now I'm going to paste this here. Good. So now I'm going to paste this. Okay, so that's all for this database. Yes, there are some new things here. You see that in your textbook. It's right here on the textbook. But yes, they brought out things that probably were not in other past papers. And this is why it is important as a student to always read the textbook, okay? And not just rely on past papers. Past papers are just a guide. The textbooks is where everything is there. And this is why the masterclass is everything. So if you've not subscribed to the Ajiro Tech Tutoring service, you probably want to do that. And if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you're probably missing. So do that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.